MrBro, the brother of MrBeast, did a pretty reasonable job of maintaining an average career monthly view count of between 1 and 4 million. However, he would post a total of only 29 full-length videos before disappearing from the channel. Around 10 months ago, it's when we take a quick glance over these 29 full-length videos through we begin to notice the very first reason as to why CJ was unable to find success to the same degree that his brother had, being that the MrBro videos were almost indistinguishable from MrBeast, giving him this feeling of off-brandness as opposed to its own fresh project. The editing ideas and thumbnails were basically identical to MrBeast. We list the crew, which included individuals such as Chandler's brothers, didn't exactly feel all that creative, are nuanced. CJ equals Jimmy, Zach equals Chandler, Taylor's equals Chris together. They are the budget MrBeast team. It was as if he was the exact same as MrBeast, while at the same time being the complete opposite. The reason for this will be explained during CJ's first major appearance on YouTube, in which Jimmy would explain the extent to which MrBro was going to be guided by MrBeast.
Helpers, a warehouse, office space. You got a $100,000 starting budget. We're doing your thumbnails for you, and we're helping you think of content.
Aren't you editing too?
I'm shouting you out and giving you over 1 million
Well,
subscribers.
it seems like Jimmy was trying to teach his brother how to fish as opposed to giving him a fish, which was certainly the right approach in this scenario. The systems were set up for CJ's in a way where he could achieve instant success whilst learning about YouTube in the process. The problem was that since CJ had absolutely no prior experience with YouTube, he was not really mixing these systems with his own pre-developed style or self-learned knowledge, and as a result was rather just replicating MrBeast's branding in its entirety.
With Jimmy's mindset with giving money away, being a philanthropist, doing all the great things that he does every single day to make a difference in people's lives, I have that same mindset, and I also want to do the same thing just like my.
Now it's probably safe to say that this was being done somewhat deliberately so MrBro could capitalize on MrBeast's exciting brand, and in a lot of ways there were massive upside to this approach. We say that MrBro, quite unquote, didn't succeed because we are comparing him to MrBeast. However, compared to any other new channel, his beginning was explosive. He did over 10 million views within his first 2 months on the platform. He would cross over the 1 million subscriber mark prior to even that, and this continual ability to gain upward of 1 million views per upload. Even after this initial shout out would have without a doubt being at least in part a result of him having the ability to replicate the MrBeast success formula almost in its entirety. Additionally, being so similar to Jimmy, many could market himself as a MrBeast brother with a similar profile picture, and all giving him a continual attachment to MrBeast's relevancy. However, it was clear that being so similar to MrBeast also put a bad taste in some of his audience's mouths, judging from this Reddit post with over 1,000 upvotes, which was titled "Guess MrBro is just straight up copying his brother." Now written in that seemed to be somewhat of a negative tone. Being marketed as MrBeast's brother also had its own disadvantages. It's likely that many of MrBro's views were coming from people clicking on the videos to see what a video by MrBeast's brother like as opposed to clicking on the video for the title, thumbnail and ideas itself. While this is probably a huge advantage for MrBrothers click-through rate, if people were clicking on the videos to simply observe the differences and similarities between the two brothers, there was no requirement to watch the full video. As a result, it's unlikely that CJ's watch time and audience retention was anything close to Jimmy's, which would have been further disadvantage against CJ's channel. This sentiment of being too similar to MrBeast can be felt further when looking at the comment on the Gamer from Mars videos from about a year ago made on a similar topic to this one. He tried to promote himself as MrBeast's brother, not CJ. You cannot try to be a carbon copy of something when you are just not, as always MrBeast's brother should. Just be himself. That it is a sure far path to success, but it's important to the longevity of the channel. Simple answer: if I'm going to watch MrBeast content, I'm going to watch it from MrBeast, not the great value versions he needs to do his own thing. The problem with these comments is that differentiating yourself from others is substantially easier said than done. It's a multi-year process. Every YouTuber goes through this. You begin by replicating someone you really like, which was where CJ was at that. As time progresses, you discover your own nuances from your own tricks and develop your own style. However, CJ might have stopped uploading before getting to that point where he could shoot off in his own directions. But again, this goes back to the problem of being branded as MrBeast's brother. Can he even shoot off in his own directions if he needs to maintain that image? Additionally, is he going to be able to develop his own style if the editing thumbnails and ideas are all being done for him? Is he going to be able to formulate a baseline understanding of what does and what doesn't work on the platform if he isn't learning everything himself from the ground up? This question highlights around points that's worth diving into, being that CJ never really got the opportunity to go through that rocky patch of developing an initiative foundational understanding for why certain videos do and don't work, usually achieved through a bunch of early failure. Now you could probably argue that this is somewhat unimportant because it can be taught, but only to a certain extent. You will learn a little bit by someone else telling you about their failure or something they have learned, but you learn a whole lot more when you put an entire week's worth of work into something that you think will be a banger before uploading it for 100 views. He never went through the hard work from the years before you get popular, so he doesn't know what it's like. You have to start with the corny videos, therefore he is not getting enough views. The other problem with skipping the early rough patch is that you potentially fails to develop a deeply meaningful long-term story associated with the channel that you have built. In the case of MrBeast, for example, much of this strong public image and goodwill comes from the obvious vibe that he's been to hell and back in order to get to his
14 years old, in his room, editing his videos super late at night of Minecraft, literally just to post it and get maybe 100, 200 views.
His 10 plus years worth of experience radiates from every fiber in his being, adding this indescribable flavor of confidence to his videos. CJ or MrBro, on the other hand, even with a similar success formula to MrBeast, still gives off the energy that he's a bit of a noob. His lack of confidence shines through, and it can be felt by the audience.